It's funny, isn't it, how you can think you know someone completely, like inside and out, and then one day the whole picture just shatters, like a mirror, you know? And you're left looking at all these broken pieces, wondering which one was the real reflection. That's what it felt like with Mike. God, I still hate saying his name. Let's just call him M. It's better that way, more impersonal. You read about these things in magazines, see them in movies, but you never think it'll be you. Never in a million years. Mike and I, Em and I, we were that couple. The one everyone looked up to. High school sweethearts. 4 amazing girls. Built a life from nothing. We were the fairy tale. At least, that's what I told myself. What I told everyone else? Honestly, the signs were probably there, but you choose not to see them. Right. It's easier that way. Like with James, Em's brother, everyone thought he was so weirdly obsessed with me, even back in high school. But I just thought he was sweet. A little too much. Maybe, but harmless. He'd offer to drive me home. Always wanted to hang out. And I'm not gonna lie, it was nice having 2 guys vying for my attention. It's not like M was perfect. He was always so busy with basketball practice. And James would just show up. It was so easy, you know. After all the drama with our engagement, that whole ridiculous scene at my work, M's parents stepped in. They were always so good to me. Treated me like their own. Robert and Pamela. Oh, they adored me. Pamela especially. She'd say I was the daughter she never had. She would teach me all her family recipes and invite me over for Sunday dinners. It was like living in a perfect sitcom. And Robert, he was always giving us relationship advice. Think before making big decisions. He'd say, communication is key. Such a good dad. It's why it hurt so much when they turned on me. I mean, on us, on M, whatever. When M and I got engaged, James acted like a total psychopath. He made this huge scene at my job, screaming that M had taken me away from him. It was insane. Rachel was scared, she said. Whatever, it was embarrassing, is what it was. But my in-laws, they talked us into family therapy, said James needed help, not rejection, and I went along with it. What was I going to do? Tell them I was uncomfortable. We had a life to build. And James gave this beautiful speech at our wedding. Total bullshit now that I think about it. But at the time, I was just glad he wasn't going to be a problem anymore. I think maybe a part of me always knew M was a lot of a workaholic. I mean, he was always so busy. Right. Always traveling for work. But I supported him, or at least, I acted like I did. I posted all these cute pictures on Instagram and Facebook, hashtagging them with my rock and so proud of my man. I mean, what else was I supposed to do? But deep down, I couldn't help but notice how much James was around. He'd help with the house, fix things. And he was always there for the girls. He was the fun uncle, the one who bought them whatever they wanted. I just saw it as him trying to make up for his past behavior. In hindsight, I can see he was trying to replace Emmy. And the texts, oh my God, the texts. They were so convincing. He'd message me, Mike's always away, but I'm here if you need anything. I mean, it's not my fault I started to rely on him. M was never home, and I had 4 girls to take care of. It was exhausting, and M would be gone for weeks at a time for these business trips. I never really questioned what he was doing. I was just too busy. And, you know, I trusted him. Or I thought I did. I knew something was wrong that day. When M came home from his business trip, the house was so tense. The girls were all crying. James was there, looking so serious. I saw the look on his face, that self-satisfied smirk. He'd done something. I just knew it. But then he pulled out that folder, the one with all the proof, the texts, the hotel receipts, the pictures. It was a lot. And I had a choice to make. Believe my husband or my brother-in-law? M tried to explain, to tell me it wasn't true. He kept saying it was all a setup. But honestly, what was I supposed to believe? I had a family to protect. My girls were crying. And there was my whole family, my parents and M's, all staring at me, waiting for me to do something. So I took a deep breath. And I did what I had to do. How could you do this to us? I yelled, my voice shaking. I knew it was the right thing to do, the honest thing to do. And in that moment, all my choices, all my decisions, all the little things I'd done, they felt justified. So M was gone, just like that. And I had to start over. It was hard. Of course it was. All his friends and family thought I was this evil, unforgiving person. They just didn't understand what it was like to be betrayed like that. I had to be strong for my girls. They hated him. Lauren threw her house key at him. Madison told him she hated him. And Ashley just looked at me and asked, why did Daddy do this to us? It was heartbreaking. But I had James. He was my rock. My support system, he helped with everything. From picking the girls up from school to helping with the divorce lawyers. He was always there for me. Always. I felt so alone, like a ghost in my own life. Em was so insistent that he was innocent, but he couldn't prove it. The private investigators he hired, they just couldn't find anything. I started to wonder if I'd made the wrong decision. But then I'd think about the girls, how much they hated him, and I would remember how much I'd given up for him, how much he'd put me through. I had to stand my ground. I couldn't let him win. I wasn't going to be a victim. And then 3 days ago, my world just shifted. My mother called me. She was crying. She said they had proof, that James had made it all up. She said they wanted to make amends, to apologize. I felt numb all this time, all these years. I thought I was doing the right thing, and it turns out I was wrong. I was so wrong, but I can't be accountable for all of it. Right. I was betrayed too. I mean, Em had been gone all the time anyway, and James had lied. My whole family had turned against me. It was all a big, horrible mess. I don't know what to do. The lawyers say we have a good case, that James could go to prison for a long time. They say he could be charged with defamation, with fraud, with all sorts of things. But I don't want to talk to Em. Not yet. I don't know if I ever can. It's hard to look at someone and know that you were the reason their life was ruined. I mean, I was part of it. A big part of it. But it was all because of James. And I can't forgive him. Not after everything he's done. The years he stole from me. The years he stole from us. I want justice. Not for Em. Not for my family. For me. For everything I lost. I'm not gonna lie. When my mom called me crying, and then told me everything, I just went numb. 6 years. 6 years of loneliness. Of watching my girls from a distance. Of thinking my life was over. All because of that man. James, I should have known. But honestly, the proof he had was so good. Too good. It was like something out of a movie. Who would ever think to question it? It's not my fault. I was just trying to protect my kids. So, I met with the lawyers, and let me tell you, it was a whole new world. They were so impressed by the evidence my parents had found. My mother gave me this massive folder, and in it was everything. Original, unaltered pictures. My heart just sank. It was so obvious how James had messed with them. I mean, the lighting was different. There were smudges, things you'd only notice if you were looking for them. And the bank statements. Payments to some professional photo editing firm and a fabricator of hotel receipts. It was all there. I couldn't believe it. Who does that? What kind of sick person planned something like this for years? Apparently, it all came out because James got drunk last week. He and Rachel were arguing, and he just blurted out that he didn't design all of this simply to lose her. What a creep. Rachel, being the smart woman she is, started looking into it and found a hidden email account on their computer. Everything was in there. A whole 6-year plan. Drafts of the texts he sent me. He had been writing them for years. Perfecting them. It's like he was some evil, twisted artist. My lawyer told me his journal even said he was waiting for the right time to execute his plan. It's unsettling. And the police, they're all over it. They've already interviewed some of his co-conspirators. The photo editor and the guy who faked the receipts. My lawyer said they're talking to save themselves, which is just delicious. It proves it wasn't my fault. I mean, how can you be expected to see through something that elaborate? The lawyers told me my former company is even opening an internal inquiry. They're talking about wrongful termination compensation for Mike. I wonder how much that will be. I mean, he lost his job because of this, and that's a real tragedy. For him, and for me, because it means he's probably not working and has no money. It's a mess. But the lawyers told me to stay away from the family for now, to let the legal process play out. And honestly, it's a relief. How do you even begin to talk to people who blamed you for 6 years? The legal stuff moved so fast. Yesterday morning, James was arrested at work. He was trying to erase files off his computer, but the IT department had already secured everything. Can you believe it? He was so sloppy in the end. And the most telling part, as they were arresting him, he just said, "She was supposed to be mine anyway." Like, what? It was all about me, always. The grand jury hearing was today, and they handed down the indictment in less than 2 hours. The prosecutor called it one of the most blatant instances of planned hatred she's ever seen. See, I told you so. And the other stuff that's come out, my God. He had been secretly filming Rachel for years. Thousands of hours of video from hidden cameras. And he was embezzling money from his company to pay for his scheme. He's so sick. It's comforting, in a way, to know that I wasn't the only one he was messing with. Lauren, my oldest, called me today. We hadn't talked in 6 years. The first thing she said was she was so sorry. But she's a lawyer now, so she's been going over all the evidence. She just couldn't believe it. I'm so proud of her. She's been helping the prosecution build a case against him, which is just so smart. I knew she'd be good at this. And Madison, my sweet, artistic Madison, she found out James had been taking her art and just stashing it away in a storage unit he rented. He was lying to her about selling it. He wanted to keep her financially dependent on him. Can you believe that? That's so messed up. Olivia, my soccer player, found out James had been paying her college coach to bench her during games he knew Mike might attend. He wanted to make sure they couldn't reconnect. It's so manipulative. I can't even... And Ashley, my little coding partner? He purposely ruined the coding project we were working on together before he set up the fake affair. It was like he was systematically trying to destroy every good memory Mike and I had. My dad had a heart attack when he found out about the hidden cameras. He can't believe James had been watching everyone. It's so disturbing. But, it's all James's fault. All of it. I'm not thinking about reconciliation. Not yet. The damage is too deep. The lawyers are focusing on getting him the harshest punishment possible. I want him to pay for what he did to me, to my family. The story has gotten so much media attention, but I'm just staying quiet. It's not about fame. It's about justice. I think the biggest surprise of all was at the preliminary hearing. He pleaded guilty to everything, but he insisted on making a public statement. And for 45 minutes, he just talked about his masterpiece of revenge with a sickening sense of pride. No remorse. It was like listening to a serial killer describe his work. It was so validating. Every doubt I had, every second guess I ever had about kicking Mike out, it just vanished. The judge, after hearing him, threw the book at him. 25 years with no chance of parole for 18. It felt right. Then the rest of the truth came out. He had a secret surveillance room in their basement. He wasn't just watching their house. He was watching Mike, too. He had cameras in my apartment. Even in my car? My God. What a nut job. Ashley, my little genius, she used her coding skills to crack his computer. He had files on my old coworkers, ready to ruin their lives too if Mike ever got close to proving his innocence. My company had to completely redesign their security because of him. The CEO even testified that James had been selling company secrets to fund his schemes. He's just pure evil. And Lauren, with her new law degree, she found that his pattern of betrayal goes all the way back to high school. He had spent his entire life building a network of people he could manipulate to get what he wanted. Madison had an art show called Betrayal's Shadow that showcased her work about all this. It was so powerful. And she even got a bunch of his collaborators to confess on video. Olivia is now working with college security to stop this kind of thing from happening in sports. My parents even started a support group for families impacted by pathological liars. They've already found 5 more families James has messed with over the decades. It's insane. The judge ordered him to pay $12 million in reparations. He had over $20 million hidden away from his schemes, and it's all been confiscated. Justice. Finally, everyone wants me to reconcile now. My parents, my daughters, even Rachel. They say the truth is out, and we can move on. But how can you move on from this? How can you forget? I had 6 years of my life stolen from me. 6 years I can never get back. The damage is too great. The relationships are too broken. It's not about forgiveness anymore. It's about building something new. And I'm working with cybersecurity experts to create tools to identify patterns of systematic manipulation. We're calling it James's Law. Ashley is leading the tech side. She's turning our misery into something that can potentially benefit others. It's a much better ending. I'm not a victim anymore. I'm a hero. This is my last update. I'm moving on. For good.